All right, what is up? Welcome back to Syrup Recaps. The Dallas Mavericks lose Game 2 to the Boston Celtics, 98-105. So, I think the first person we have to talk about, I think the big elephant in the room is for sure Kyrie. Kyrie in this game, and both games, is struggling against the Celtics defense. Definitely not looking like himself, especially these last two games. Very bad. He only had 16 points in game 2. Definitely not the performance we need from him. We definitely need the performance that we saw from him in the conference finals, for sure. Well, more or less the performance that Luka gave today. That's the type of performance we need from Kyrie, for sure. A thing that I was complaining in the other video was about the performances of the role players. And they played well today. PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford, Derrick Jones Jr. showed up today. Yeah, that's really about to say for the positive. I'm guessing another positive is always going to be Luka. Dropped a triple-double today. 32, 11, and 11. Just, typical Luka stuff. Just being good, cooking the Celtics. But the support system, man, is really not there today. Especially from Kyrie. Well, again, PJ, Derrick Jones Jr., and Gafford were probably the best players outside of Luka. Kyrie, from the box in a score, you can really see he only had 16 points. Obviously, he should be giving us more. Other people struggled, though. Derek Lively struggled again, only 2 points today. Josh Green, only in 14 minutes, only had 4 points, and he didn't really make an impact when he was out there. Jaden Hardy only played 2 minutes, which was very weird. He didn't really do anything today. He only had 2 minutes. I'm surprised he didn't play more. Dante Exum, he was a person I was talking about in the last video that should have got more minutes. And he did. He played 10 minutes today. Yeah, he had a key three at the end of near the end of the third quarter. That was a big part of the Mavericks kind of making a run while the Celtics were up by 10. And then in the game, Payne Pritchard hit a deep three, crazy shot, a bank shot. It was some crazy stuff from him. It was and I feel like that specific shot definitely swung the momentum to the Celtics side. And definitely, I don't think the Mavericks ever recovered after that three happened. I think the biggest issue with this game, I could really clearly tell, is that the Mavericks are not capitalizing on the Celtics' misses and turnovers, because this game, the Celtics, I think had moments of weakness in this game, and the Mavericks didn't really put the foot on the neck specifically for this specific game, because I think they really needed this game, and I feel like they really had a good chance, if other players on the team played better. For sure I think Kyrie was definitely the most disappointing today. Again, I'll say it again, because again, I think this game hurts more because if Kyrie just played well today, we would have definitely won game 2. Yeah, I have in my notes, in all caps, the Mavericks needed Kyrie Irving. Yeah, that was on one of my notes. Another thing I put in my notes is that the Mavericks are struggling from the free throw line. Unacceptable. Just they had 24 free throws and they only made 16 of them. So they had a 66. Again, and I'll say it again, 66% free throw percentage versus the Celtics, who were 95% from the free throw line, 19 of 20. The Mavericks were only 16 of 24. They had more free throw attempts, and they still lost the game. And that's another thing that it hurts. If they made their free throws, maybe they would have won by 1 or 2 points, because that's like 8 points lost. And the Dallas Mavericks lost the game by 7. Yeah. Ouch. So we would have probably won this by double digits if you really think about it. If Kyrie played the way he was playing throughout these playoffs, the Mavericks would have won by 10. Well, woulda, coulda, shoulda. So it is what it is. The Mavericks are making simple mistakes that are leading to turnovers and Celtics buckets. That's the biggest frustration too. The amount of turnovers. They committed 15 turnovers, not very good, and the Celtics had a team overall 10 steals. So those were probably mostly on just the Mavericks not being protective with the ball, and I think I said that in the first video of this series. I think I talked about how the Celtics really capitalize on the Mavericks' mistakes, and I feel like the Mavericks at times we're kind of doing it the other way, but I feel like they lost a lot of focus, especially when the Celtics went on their scoring runs. The Mavericks kind of lost a lot of the confidence they were having, because I thought they were playing really well, but I think I could clearly tell the role players were really not feeling it every time they went on a run. And the only player that I would say was really still locked in was for sure Luka. I don't know. I was like seeing the confidence level was dropping every time they went to thing, and never really. I think the biggest issue is that the scoring runs the Celtics go on are just it's tough to, we really match up with that, because the Celtics' defense is so good. That's definitely what I also put that in my notes, is that the Celtics defense is tough. It's really tough especially on Kyrie. I don't know. It's just he just seems very like off his game. I think the biggest thing is like they're clearly. I just feel like with Kyrie it's all mental, and I think he has makeable. A lot of Kyrie's shots today were makeable again, like last game. I think the players that were struggling in game one, I think stepped up. It's just Kyrie was really missing tonight, and they really needed it. Again, I know I'm repeating myself, but that is my biggest complaint for sure. Tatum is struggling today. Let's get to the Celtics. Tatum struggled in the first half, and I think he looked pretty good. He only had 18 points, 12 assists, 9 rebounds. I feel like definitely the box score doesn't really show everything, but Tatum is struggling this game for sure. He definitely turned it up in the second half. 'Cause I have it on my notes. Tatum is struggling, but that was what I wrote that in the first half. And he started playing better. I think it's funny that Jason Kidd said Jalen Brown is the best player on the Celtics, because that's what he kind of is. He really was kind of killing the Mavericks from both sides offensively with his athleticism plus his shooting. He was kind of killing them, and he might be the most dangerous player on the Celtics for sure. Drew Holiday had the most points on the Celtics, 26 points. A huge impact. I feel like his presence, he could be a candidate if the Celtics win for Finals MVP, just because of his defense on Kyrie. I feel like he's really bothered him, and he hasn't really been the Kyrie Irving that we've come to know. And Drew Holiday again. He's been proven. He won a championship with the Milwaukee Bucks 3 years ago in 2021, and he had a big clutch steal. I think it was on Giannis, and in like Game 5 of that series, and so he's been proven. He's a proven defensive stopper. Probably one of the best, if not the best defensive guard in the NBA. Derek White had 18. Kristaps wasn't as big of an impact tonight because he was on a minutes restriction. He only had 12 points, and I think he got injured on a play near the end of the game. He was limping off the court, I think. That was tough. So he may or may not play game one. Maybe questionable, but they have 2 days off. They don't play till Wednesday, so he might be able to play Wednesday, hopefully. Because I hope I would love to see these teams fully healthy. I think that's what was so interesting about this finals to me, was like both teams are fully healthy. There's no key injuries that are really holding the team down. So there's no excuses here. So that's good to see. I think for Game 3, they should definitely save the challenge for the second half of the game, because using a challenge in the first 3 minutes of a game is ridiculous to me, especially on a play that was clearly a foul. Not a good move by Jason Kidd. I'll give credit where it's due. I do think the Mavericks were calling timeout at the right time, and they were making the right adjustments from Game 1. It's just I think players just didn't step up. I'll give criticism again. I think no Tim Hardaway Jr. in this game was very disappointing to see. I do think they should have given him a chance, especially the Mavericks going on so many scoring droughts while in this game, was because I think there was almost 3 or 4 minutes where they didn't even score a point. I think that they were stuck at 63 for so long in the game. It was not good in the Celtics, and I feel like that run when the Mavericks were stuck at 663, I think cemented this game for the Celtics. The 3 stars for the Dallas Mavericks were for sure Luka Doncic. I might give it to PJ Washington and Derrick Jones Jr. And the J.R. Smith Award definitely goes to Jrue Holiday tonight. Yeah, he was good. He was a beast tonight. He definitely made a huge impact for the Celtics, and definitely was a big part of their win, especially when Tatum was struggling. All right, I'm Jalen, and this has been Syrup Recaps.